Hello and welcome everybody to One Click Factory Central Eastern Europe Microsoft Dynamics Partner event, a series of sessions of webinars that we are hosting with the aim to get partners together so that we work on the ideas, challenges, discuss what is relevant for our market, and of course brainstorm of what else, what opportunities are there for us. This time, the discussion, the topic that we have chosen is being a Dynamics partner today. What does it mean for us, for our ecosystem? What challenges are there? What opportunities are there? And so on. And when we were working on the agenda of possible questions, of course, that the question on who is the target audience, who would be interested in such a conversation came up. Is it the partners who are really matured, well-known partners on the market, or is it on the contrary, the ones that I have just starting the Microsoft Dynamics business? And you know what? We realized that it is both. Even if you have been with the Dynamics market for quite a while already, you might leverage and gain benefit by attending the webinar, because it's always interesting to hear who has been acquired. Are there many acquisitions going on? How are partners feeling? What trends do we see? What newcomers are entering the market, and etc. And if you are joining Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem, of course, we want to welcome you and want you to give this understanding that this is a community for you, that everybody is appreciating and supporting and wants to make sure that you on board on Microsoft space, on CSP space smoothly. Before we enter the topic and I introduce the panelists, the experts that we have on the webinar, just like always, I would like to ask you to tell us where are you getting from. Not only this is interesting for us to learn, let's say, for example, I am calling from really cold and snowy Vilnius, but also I would like you to try out the chat button where you can ask your questions, share opinion, agree, disagree, maybe all is okay. We're here to discuss, and we have experts that can answer any question that you would have regarding dynamics or partnership or where to look for the information that is relevant for you. So do we have uh, okay, Ugne is joining also from Vilnius, and I don't see any others mentioning. The chat is on your right. That's where you should use it. And now, again, before we enter the discussion, the poll for you. So, being a Dynamics partner today, is that a better moment than ever before? Or maybe this is a transitioning phase, and you understand that or think that not every partner will be going through it. Or maybe this is a huge demand for new partners coming in the market. Or maybe you have another idea. In this case, please share this idea in the question chat. Okay. And with this, I am very happy to introduce the three experts that we have on the panel. Just like always, we are trying to get three angles of expertise. So we have Germantas Gaurilčikas, Partner Development Manager representing Microsoft site. Germantas, welcome on board. No, you're muted, Germantas. Don't hear a word you say.
Usual thing, yeah. Nowadays, okay. Hello to everyone.
So, Germantas, in the introduction, we're stating, and this is taken from the conversation from you, that you think not all the partners are utilizing what is there prepared by Microsoft community. Can you elaborate on that and tell us why are you stating this?
Yeah. So briefly, I see this tendency that different partners do have the different knowledge what Microsoft can provide, what type of support they can utilize, coming from Microsoft perspective. So for us, this is very important because we do definitely have various things to basically to offer in order to support this business transformation and cloud transformation journey, especially for the, let's say, more traditional Dynamics partners. So usually we see this, that the partners who are kind of smartly utilizing the resources and support which our Microsoft is able to provide, they're also a little bit doing better based on their scalability and based on their cloud growth results as well. So that's why I see that there's definitely kind of a room for improvement for all of us, and that room of, that improvement could also make the change and support and help the partners to make this transition towards towards their own benefit. So that's why that's basically what I have in mind.
And I think that we are going to go deeper in how Microsoft can help, how each partner or distributors like One Click Factory can help as well during this conversation. So thank you. Looking forward to discuss. Our second expert and panelist is representing a partner side. Rinald Slutsky is joining from company Digital Mind. So Rinald, you have just entered Dynamics ecosystem, right? And you mentioned that it's very nice. It looks very nice on paper. However, once you move forward, you see that there are quite a struggle that you can survive. But before we go into the details on the maybe challenges side, I would like to ask you to introduce the Digital Mind and why the decision was there to start Microsoft business and what potential did you see?
Yeah, hello, good day. Hi from Riga. Digital Mind since 2004 has been helping large organizations in Baltic region to automate and bring into order their large document management, content management needs. So we are a system integrator, a partner of a large software company that sells and implements their software to the customers' kind of infrastructure, the customers' infrastructure. So we've been doing this enterprise content management since 15 years, and then realized that obviously to grow, we need to look outside of our current kind of expertise and domain and listen to what customers are requiring or asking us. And obviously, after doing the market research, after hiring market analysts and talking to customers, we realized that number one, Microsoft is a kind of dominant player in various levels, in various kind of segments of companies. Now with the whole offering and the cloud vision and strategy, it's a clear driver into cloud transitioning, cloud transformation. And obviously, if you want to grow further and become more relevant to both large and also mid-market players, you better be friends with Microsoft. So that was one of the strategic bets that we made, right? And another thing, we started investing more heavily and actively in the robotic process automation competence, and then we were working to some extent with Softomotive, and Microsoft acquired Softomotive. So that was the natural way how we came into starting working with Microsoft and build our competence and offering now from the Power Platform kind of perspective, and probably about the details later. But yes, Inge mentioned that on a paper it could look like an easy journey or kind of clear journey. We haven't been doing any business with Microsoft before that. We started to become friends with Microsoft and One Click Factory in the first quarter last year. So we have this 12 months of experience. And I must say, I have finished 8 Ironman distances in triathlon. And sometimes it felt that becoming a partner of Microsoft and getting clear what is the next step, what we have to do, felt much more harder than finalizing those 8 Ironmans. So there's a lot to learn for I guess Microsoft as a vendor as well when trying to build out the new partner network.
Germantas is laughing. I think he's supporting you and feels what you're saying.
I feel the pain sometimes, yeah, of course. So that there is some improvements definitely where we could make it as well. So I agree with that.
Yeah, but what I actually hear, I'm happy to hear, but that it was customer demand as well as one of your criteria to move to Microsoft space, because this is something that we feel as well. Customers asking for Microsoft solutions.
Yeah, whether it's Microsoft generated demand or it's kind of organically grown by the customer needs, that probably is a question to be asked. But having the marketing machine and a market cloud, what Microsoft has, right? So obviously that customers will be talking about the possibilities and the technologies Microsoft is providing, and would be evaluating their needs, comparing to capabilities that Microsoft offers. So therefore, those conversations would be naturally there always with whatever level or whatever market segment you're talking. So Microsoft is there as one of the vendors that's always in mind.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Would be interesting to hear what you have gone throughout the journey on getting on Microsoft Space. And our third expert, representing One Click Factory as one of the distributors of CSP distributors for Central Eastern Europe, I am happy to invite Agne Balkevičiūtė-Lajienė on board, who is not only One Click Factory expert, but expert and term, has been long with the company, but also now is leading the newly established CSP business line at our site. So Agne, recently, once we have started moving and helping move customers, partners to CSP, to the cloud, you have delivered so many sessions with the partners, newly born, existing ones, and so on. And what you mentioned after all these workshops, that there's such a big go-tos list for partners in general. So what do you say? Is there a go-do-this template that would fit every partner?
Good day, everyone. Happy to be here with all of you. This is a very good question, Inga. Is there a template for success, right? And if we look into the poll results, we see that majority of us are feeling that we are transitioning throughout the change, and not everyone will make through it, right? So I would say that there is no secret recipe that in detail would be a good fit to anyone or any organization. But I would say that, the high level thought of focus, right, where we are defining where is the area of our expertise, where we are delivering our services and where we are adding value to our customers, right? And to play and define our own niche and to succeed in our own niche, that would be my overall advice. And that niche could be very, very different, right? That niche could be on the segment of the customer. That niche could be within the area of our own intellectual property that we are providing. That niche equally could be related to the relationships we are building with the customers and helping customers to transition from the on-prem into the cloud and securing our existing customer base, right? Or to go after, those newborn customers that are not only personally utilize cloud, but as well within the business environment, utilize cloud as well.
So thank you. Looking forward to hear your insights, and good that you mentioned poll. I was about to address the poll's result by asking and going to the first area of the questions that we have. So firstly, I think let's move right there to the question that we had there. So what are the trends? What are the challenges in the partner ecosystem? Based on my experience, and I have been talking quite a lot with partners lately, partners share that market is ready for the cloud. Customers are ready for the cloud. And therefore, there's a lot of movement across the partner channel. So Germantas, the poll result that Agne was addressing for does show the same, that partners feel that there is a big transition going on. Not everybody will make it. From Microsoft perspective, how do you feel that what are the trends on the market? Are partners growing or maybe retiring, leaving? What challenges do they have? What help do they miss once they decide to enter the market?
Yeah, so that's quite a that's kind of a big question overall.
Big
So,
question, very big question.
there are a couple of different things in different areas, I would say so. But if focusing a little bit more on the business application perspective, then one of the bigger trends we see is that more traditional partners, and by traditional I mean partners who are coming from infrastructure perspective or modern workplace perspective with M365 or Office 365 offers and solutions, they are starting a little bit more to get familiar with Power Platform. So Power Platform is a topic which does bring them into the game and kind of gets them to touch a little bit around the business applications. So naturally, it also leads to them exploring what is more there as well, overall, next to the Power Platform as well, next to the Power Apps or the Power Automate topic. So we do see a trend where a little bit more traditional partners who were previously not dealing with business applications are starting offering something as well to the customers and kind of entering the business application game. Of course, maybe not so heavily on ERP perspective or CRM perspective, but those are the first steps, which most probably will kind of result into getting a little bit more partners being more proactive on customer engagement perspective, with sales naturally growing from Power Platform as maybe an upsell or a next step. So that is one of the, let's say, trends. So a little bit, it is becoming a more competitive environment overall when it comes to business applications. And naturally, as well as Reynolds mentioned, some of kind of acquires made by Microsoft are bringing us net new type of partners who are focusing on robotic process automation. So it gives us a little bit more exposure, and that also kind of brings in some more players into the market. So definitely some clear, let's say, business value propositions and more value, kind of a clear value which partners can bring to the customers will be kind of surviving this Hunger Games in a way in the kind of a competitive environment. So this is something what to watch out or have in mind for sure.
What strategy does Microsoft have to welcome newly comers or the ones who are transitioning the business model?
So besides a lot of different type of resources which are available in Microsoft Partner Network, which I would really kind of emphasize or would advise people to go through and from time to time to just log into Microsoft Partner Network and review what type of materials there are for them available, because often enough it's underutilized or even understood what's available there. So this is one thing. The second thing, there we do have technical kind of advisory hours available as Microsoft, as to each partner as Microsoft member of Microsoft Partner Network. So either you have an action pack or you do have a silver or gold competency. Each of the partners could request some technical resources or consultancy from Microsoft directly and utilize the hours they have for each, let's say, period of their MPN renewal. So this is one thing. The second thing is that we do have more resources covering business application topic from Microsoft's perspective, creating a little bit more demand and generating that demand. When it comes to partners, we do also have more people through Central Eastern Europe who are working on recruit levels. On recruit level, from Microsoft perspective, means that a little bit net new or fresh partners, or the partners who are showing a commitment, growing some kind of a new business area as well. So there are some as well kind of hands-on resources and support available from Microsoft perspective directly. But moreover, and maybe one of the most important parts and strategical part for Microsoft is that we do really rely on indirect providers, on our distributors who are working in the region. And we do expect them as well to be guiding basically the guys for the partners who are able to bring some added value, not only the pricing and take care of the transactional business, but as well teach them, educate them, keep them up to date, and support them from technical perspective or sales perspective. What, as an example, One Click Factory is doing quite well and does offer that type of support. So pretty much different aspects what Microsoft is doing and trying to, how Microsoft is trying to support newcome partners, or the, let's say, older partners who are working in the transition, and probably I'll talk a little bit more for further on incentives and some other offers, which also is there available at the table to support that transition as well.
By the way, a comment to all, just like Germantas has mentioned, One Click Factory is focusing on helping partners get on board. We have tons of materials prepared, but we don't have maybe that nice location to go to look after for. We have people who will actually guide you through the process. So if you are heading to Microsoft ecosystem, if you are heading to cloud, please feel free to contact us, CEE@oneclickfactory.com, join our CSP acceleration program, and we will be ready to support you and make sure that you grow your Dynamics business. And then, well, of course, Germantas, you have a very good story. Now, Rinals, as I know, of course, in the end, the story is a good one for you, right? But what did it take for you to land? What was expected, maybe what not expected, becoming a Microsoft partner? And where maybe you can also share with others where One Click Factory helped and what help should prepared or look others after for from the distributors.
Yeah, thanks, Inga. Look, I guess the whole experience or the thinking behind this partnership with Microsoft should be split into few categories. Let's say number one, we as a partner decided we want to work with Microsoft, and we have strategically chosen the Power Platform as the direction or the business line to start with. So in the beginning, it was not really clear for us, and this is where One Click helped us, is this whole roadmap. What should be kind of both trained, what competencies you need, and where to start it all. Because there is a lot of information, and once you are familiar and understand the structure of the information, what German, as you mentioned, there is really no question that is not answered. But sometimes it's really hard to identify what questions have to be asked. And once you start becoming more familiar with everything, so what helped us is the whole thing about playbooks. So the playbook is something like, more than 100 pages of the document where you can really understand what competencies you need, how to position yourself, where to look, and so on and so forth. But from the very beginning, where to start, it was really not clear. Because I would share, we have worked with some other, like SAP, IBM, Software AG, and OpenText, and so on. And this organization was always built that if you want to become partner, there is a clear partner organization in your region. You contact them, and they help you to develop the relationships. For us to understanding whom to talk to here in the Baltics, for instance, it was still not clear until, I don't know, June or July, when we got introduced to partner recruit team, brilliant gentleman from Slovenia, and then we started working with him, and he helped us go through the whole kind of onboarding process. For instance, for me, it's rather a new information that there is a partner development manager, a person responsible for developing partners here in Baltics region. So I didn't know that until today.
So one thing as a key out for you from the session.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing probably. If let's say from the Microsoft perspective, a bit more kind of clear and structured kind of this roadmap. So you want to start here. So those are the next 10 or 15 steps. Or maybe there is something that well-added distributors like One Click would do. For instance, for us, it was early training sessions, both in the product and in licensing and so on, this onboarding, so that you grasp general things about this business model. Then the next thing, what we have already understood, is that at least with the Power Platform, this marketing message what Microsoft is spreading, that they're enabling citizen developers and customers would be able to develop the solutions based on the Microsoft Power Platform themselves, this really works. It's a good thing for clients, not that good thing for partners. Because if you look and talk about the transitioning, probably the majority of partners also attending today as listeners, so their typical business model was sell licenses and then sell your services on top. At least with Power Platform, I don't think there is a really chance to build a growing and strong, financially sustainable business model with Power Platform alone. You have to clearly spread it further and go further with the whole Dynamics kind of family, or with the time build a strong kind of applications or products on top of that. Because it clearly showed from the second part of last year, we delivered proof of concepts or first projects, first applications built on the Power Platform, and then the customers really successfully took over this and then continued developing this in-house. And therefore, from the partner perspective, so there is nothing that you can really earn with selling licenses. You sell some short-term small projects as a services. So what is the unique thing that you need to develop on top of all this, so to still be relevant for your customers and still provide the value that they cannot do themselves? So it either will be going into something like the whole governance topic, once the Power Platform on those solutions are more spread and more utilized by the customers, so the governance topic will become relevant. Right now, it's kind of in early stages, and rarely somebody is thinking about that. Or you build some more advanced solutions, but then it can't be only the Power Platform, it should be the whole business applications with Azure and so on. And to get there, it's a really a strategic step that organization would want to define and be ready to invest, and invest a lot. Because to become the gold certified partner, to start earning really from those incentives, something and so on, there are very high criteria that Microsoft is defining, and I believe and understand why, because that's the only way how to ensure the quality, right, of services, of solutions. But this is a long journey, and if somebody really wants to go into this journey and transform their business and so on, it has to be a multi-year strong investment plan, and you have to have other business lines where this investment is coming from. Because as we now calculated, first 24 to 30 months, it will be pure investment. So we won't reach with this pure business line any break even. So you need another kind of revenue sources where you get the money. So therefore, I say it's probably worth it once you make and once you have this strong offering, strong market position, and then also some solutions on top of the whole Microsoft Cloud strategy. It should be worth it. But to make this journey, I completely agree with the messages that were said in the beginning, that not everybody will make it, and not everybody who starts today doing something with Microsoft, with this business application offering, would continue this in a year or 2 years. That's
thank you, Rinald.
very resourceful.
Thank you. So Agnia, I think what Rinald has just shared is very interesting partner feedback. And I'm pretty sure that you, who are meeting so many partners across the world, have heard these stories before. So what is your view? Looking from the trends perspective, and do majority of partners answer the question, yes, it is worth it? Because I know that you are building business plans, profitability plans for partners. So what is your understanding? How do you relate to the challenges that Rinald has just shared?
I would say Rinald's challenges are a very usual challenge, right? How do you start the new business, and how do you make it profitable? And profitable, sustainable as well in the long run. And one of the areas that Rinald shared was added value, right? That to have customer connected to us, we need to provide certain value add towards the customer, right? And that value add could come from the managed service, as we call, or that could come from the intellectual property that is nicely packaged, right? And added on top in a format of a custom build application or anything else that is being provided. And I would say that throughout the last period, I've seen a number of good practical steps towards where in reality partners are packaging that knowledge, intellectual property into managed services or intellectual property subscriptions to better attach customers towards themselves. And besides that, I'd say that there is another trend that is related to the cloud, right? Where we see when we are thinking about the business applications, right? Sometimes business application could be out of the box, best practice, set of best practice, they can use dear partner, but sometimes, dear customers, sorry, but sometimes our customers are larger organizations, so even enterprise organizations. And they are not looking for an out-of-the-box advice, right? They are looking for a customization, for an experience that partner could provide. So I see a very differentiated offerings that partners started to develop, that are targeting either smaller customer organizations with out-of-the-box best practices and straightforward implementations, or enterprise customers. And I would say that saves effort within the partner organization in the sales approach, right? So that we serve customer the way that the customer should be served, right? And we streamline our activities in that direction.
Thank you. So Germantas, maybe the same question to you also. Well, or the same question to all of you to continue the discussion. So being a Dynamics partner today, is that a good time in your opinion? We saw the poll results, but in your opinion, Germantas, to start with you, is it a good time to enter? If I am to enter, what challenges, what should I prepare, what I should have in mind, and how can I benefit to make sure that the answer, Rinald has the answer to the question is yes, it is worth.
Yeah. So first of all, of course, it needs to be an intentional plan, definitely. So you have to have an intention in order to develop this business and move forward. So is it a good time? I would say yes, it is probably one of the best times to kind of transition towards the cloud business and business applications. As from Microsoft perspective, this is also you can really feel that this is a strategical cloud business priority as well, and it is becoming more and more kind of with each year kind of emphasis is being put on business applications as well. It's not only that, let's say, infrastructure, Azure type of business or modern workplace type of business anymore. So it is not that, it's also business applications, definitely a priority also from Microsoft resources in the field who are focusing on supporting end customers and also the partners as well. So this is one maybe piece of the puzzle. The second part is that we do have probably the best possible incentives what we had available for business application partners. There are accelerators available for Power Platform sales, for Sales Professional as an example, and also for the Business Central. So on top of that, there's as well a 20% of an incentive available for driving net new business within business application together with net new customers. So we definitely reward, and I would say to pay attention to it, because each partner needs to understand what kind of a toolbox and what tools are inside of the box in order to understand their margin and their profitability as well, where to focus more, maybe where to focus less. So definitely it's a good time to be a business application partner or kind of for the existing ones to go more and put more emphasis and focus towards the cloud as well.
How do you comment on what Reynolds has shared that it's only golden and silver partners that are eligible sometimes? So how do you break the circle and get to that level if you are a new one?
Even for new ones, there are, let's say, easier competencies and more complex competencies which you can acquire, definitely. So in order to get incentives, a silver level is more than sufficient, and for the beginning this is a good one, an entry point. And as well, you might require to get 1 or 2 certifications in order to acquire that competency. But together with that, you also as a partner get internal use rights where you can kind of practice some areas or utilize some licenses within your company. So it also, there's a return in order of that, not only incentives but also different type of returns as well. What I mentioned before, there are some technical advisory hours available for each of the partner to use and utilize. So it's not just a requirement, but as Richard's also quite well mentioned, so we do have those criteria, just that kind of to assure the quality of the partners and to make sure that the partners are capable of delivering technologies they are selling as well. So that's the logic. So I don't see that it could be a deal breaker. It's of course something what you have to have in mind, that you definitely need to follow Microsoft strategy regarding the competence and acquire one competence at least, for sure. But as first thing I mentioned, it has to be intentional, and definitely this is something that you can easily plan, how to move through the competency requirement as well.
Thank you. So, Rinaldas, you shared quite many challenges, but yet from the conversations that we had prior with this call, I know that you see a lot of potential in Dynamics business, and you are planning to strengthen this business line at your company. So, being a Dynamics partner, what is it that you felt or sensed or maybe experienced already?
Yeah, definitely, Inga. I don't want to hear from my side just only as a complaining. You asked about how the roadmap was, and I just shared the previous experience. So, to the question whether or not now there is the right time, I would also fully agree, Kermit, that now is a really good time, because you look from the whole shift in the technology kind of landscape. Now is the natural end of life cycle for many systems that were implemented something like 10 years ago. We see that as for our kind of local customers, for our existing customers, also for new ones. Now is the time where many enterprises are changing their enterprise information systems. The question whether this will be still on-prem, whether this will be cloud, but the shift is there. Another aspect is if you look at the regional perspective where we are here. So Microsoft offering, I believe, is the most that fits the value versus price versus functionality versus availability for this our region. And I'm talking not only Baltics, but Central Europe, even in Germany, some companies who are migrating away from SAP and then moving to Microsoft, which was like 10 years ago unthinkable in Germany, right? So SAP country. So from the whole market dynamics, now is really a time where there is a lot of market opportunity, and there will be more and more companies during the next 2 to 5 years moving into direction Microsoft, into direction Microsoft Cloud and business applications. So therefore, now is a good time to start building this competence. You are right that strategically we are moving kind of in the deeper relationships with Microsoft, and will extend our competence, not only Power Platform, but actually everything around business applications, Azure and so on. Because once we decided that this is both the large market perspective, and we have intention and have the funds also to invest, we will go this direction, because we believe this will be a very, very strong next kind of revenue stream for us, and then business opportunity. So, but you have to be patient in the beginning. it's a long game. It's really a long game.
Yes. If you know what you are aiming for, you can survive. I think that's how you mentioned in the beginning. So, Agnia, both Germantas and Reynolds already confirmed that this is one of the best periods ever. And we as One Click Factory do see that trends as well. Can you help everybody understand? Because I'm pretty sure that we have a company joining who either wants to expand their cloud business or they're new at Microsoft space. How One Click Factory can help? What membership program do we have, and how we onboard and support partners on their journey, understanding what they have to have in place?
Yes, indeed. I think that Reynolds and Germant has covered this really nicely. The opportunity that is out there for Microsoft Dynamics Partner, right? So we're One Click Factory, and how One Click Factory could help in this situation. So what we do have is the acceleration programs for the partners that all start with a discovery workshop where we understand and design together with the partner where is the passion within the business applications, as well as the opportunity that partner would move towards into, and what would be the first steps to take to onboard, what kind of investment or effort would be needed to execute upon that plan, right? So that it is not only, how to say, the list of bullets, but as well an understanding on how much of the investment and effort behind is there. And then, as partners move towards the goal, One Click Factory and QPS Group, we have partner success managers, people that are knowledgeable on the resources, on the programs, Microsoft incentives, that could provide a specific assistance based on the partner's requests and partner's questions to move forward.
Would you? Okay. So if now I think you're frozen for me. I have some kind of lag. So thank you, Agnia. Really, I can only support that we are looking forward to help you onboard on cloud and on CSP. The other question that before coming to the meeting, I thought it would be interesting to discuss is going alone or in partnership, and how do we see partnership? Do partners need some kind of events, gatherings, cooperation opportunities? Germantas, maybe as typical, I will start with you asking for your feedback. What Microsoft has in place to help partners get together and utilize the best parts what they have in their companies?
Yeah, so this is a little bit not so straightforward for sure. So as Microsoft, definitely we do see value when the partner is collaborating with another partners, and the best fits are the ones who kind of let's say don't overlap that much, for sure, because they are able to avoid any kind of let's say misunderstandings, and if they don't overlap, basically they don't let's say offer the same services and try to win the same customer and get the same revenue, definitely. So we definitely see basically a little bit more traditional partners as well are open, often enough are open to collaborate with business application partners who are not covering their workload. So meaning that we do the ones who have quite large customer base in let's say in SMB segment with modern workplace, they are open to collaborate with partner if the business application partner has some value to offer as well towards that partner, to offer to their customer base, let's say Business Central or any kind of a Power Platform application if it's, let's say, already prepackaged and ready to go to market. So this is something what we definitely encourage the partners to do and try to seek for such collaborations as well. So this is one type of the opportunities where partners are collaborating. The second type is then if there is a partner who do have a packaged solution offering, either it is on customer engagement platform or on Business Central. We of course recommend the partners to have that listed on AppSource. So that would be you would get more exposure, and not only the customers would be able to find your solution and services, but also other partners could find that and reach out to you if they have similar customer case in their own, let's say, region or segment, reach out to you and basically go to the customer with some kind of a value proposition or offer together. So those, let's say, you can, but at the end you can do both. You can be self-sustainable, be a niche partner, and be by yourself and kind of go to market on your own. But then at the same time you can go, of course, together with other partners. But maybe the area which I would like to remind and emphasize once more is that as well, we definitely encourage to collaborate with a direct provider who can support you, either make that partner-to-partner connections, or also rely on indirect provider to support you in developing the business as well. So it's always better to have somebody who can support you and who can you rely on than just really relying on your own. So definitely, both ways are possible. I would say that going together with partners and collaborating with other partners are probably the better way and option to go.
We at One Click Factory and QBS Group definitely have the aim to get partners together. And I can share these are very early news yet, but we are planning. And actually this time a live event and not middle of May, somewhere somewhere there, to get partners together, share expertise, learn from each other. If you have a good topic and if you would like to come to the event, reach out to us already. We are building the agenda, and we would be more than happy if you contributed with ideas on what partners are missing out. So yes, I am very supportive of the idea that the partners need to engage, to cooperate, and we see that happening. So Rinald, you are representing partner side. Is such a cooperation needed, or do you think that it's standalone more business practice, or partnership opportunities, engaging with other partners, engaging with Disti like a One Click Factory is important to get the business going?
Yes, and yes. So it makes absolutely sense looking into cooperation and partnership and many aspects. Why? So number one, if you start with this certain practice, so you can't really go big immediately. So you start with something that you can focus on. And to grow the business, you focus on one thing, another partner focuses on another, as Germán has said, not overlapping. And it makes sense to go together because for the customer, you can really deliver higher value if you are kind of with broader competencies and not necessarily delivered from one hand, but from the kind of consortium of partners. So that is one thing. If you think about how to grow your business, how to make additional revenues that you can invest into growing another kind of competencies. But if you look from the market perspective, I see and believe that there is more demand than currently competency and resources available. And therefore, in one case or in another, you as a maybe already established partner, you can't simply deliver all the projects that are there at your customer base just alone, and therefore this cooperation is necessary. I think therefore there will be also more kind of integrations and mergers in this area, because becoming a, let's say, a strong gold certified partner in business applications, I will repeat myself, but this is something like 2 to 2.5 years, constantly building, investing, and investment that will go in seven digits. And therefore, from the scratch, probably large organizations could do that, strategically decide to do that, and then invest. But if you look at the smaller companies and smaller smaller players. So probably the integration and the merger of equals would be the goal, let's say, the way what will happen in the market during the next couple of years.
Okay, thank you. Looking forward to help you out and see how can we cooperate and engage other partners to help you get faster than in this 2.5 years frame. Agne, out of our experience, maybe you can share some best practices. Maybe you saw some examples of good cooperation where One Click Factory stepped in, or partners joined forces together, or maybe you could share what help in reality partners are looking for when they are having these strategic workshops with you and the team.
Yes, so I would say that having a good partner is like a marriage, right? We always strive to find that brilliant party with whom we could achieve much more, so that 1 + 1 is more than 2, but rather 4 or maybe 5 even, right? So I would say when we are thinking about the collaboration and finding a partner, we need to define up front what kind of partner we are looking for and what kind of gaps we would like to solve with a partnership. And those gaps could be very different. They could be, looking from a value chain perspective, right? Are we looking for a partner to bring our offering to the market, to the new customer segment, right? Are we looking for the partner to add a value proposition to the overall offering that we have, so that we strengthen the offering together? Are we looking for a partner that adds extra hands, right? So that we could increase a capacity from our side? Are we looking for a partner who could take off the workload of, for example, repetitive tasks, right, from our side? Are we looking for a partner who could cover, for example, specific time zone, because we are not covering that specific time zone, right? So we could look and search for a partner from the value chain perspective, right? But as well, I see that there are partnerships that are being formed from the competitors, right? Where they are not like filling in the gaps of each other's, right? But they are adding the minds together, because the market is huge, as we all understand, and there is business for everyone within the area. And we see scarcity of the talent and scarcity of the resources. And I add more and more, maybe we don't call that partnerships, right? But a collaboration unit where people are working on the same challenge or on the same, to make sure that we have talent in place. How to ensure that, let's say, Dynamics product is easily implemented in our multi-geography in Central Eastern Europe, with the multiple localizations that we have out here, right? So working together to solve these kind of challenges together, where and I would say that One Click Factory is sometimes stepping in, because we do know the market and we do know a number of players, and who is stronger, especially who is stronger in some specific areas. So I see us as providing links, for the ones that are looking for some specific competency or some specific partnerships. But as well, we join people together, and sometimes we are invited, to facilitate a discussion. But sometimes One Click Factory is taking an action to bring members together and work on one or the other challenge.
Thank you. Thank you all for such an insightful discussion. For the last points and for the last minutes that I have, I would like to ask you, Shira, so what is the one key takeaway you would like the audience to have? Germantas, I would like to start with you. What is your key message that you would like to send the audience?
Yeah, so I would say that understand what tools do you have to kind of build the business with. So what maybe I want to emphasize, what I haven't pointed out before, is make sure that you know the pre-sales offers available for the business application partners, how Microsoft is supporting partners in pre-sales activities. So definitely, I believe this is underutilized in Central Eastern Europe, and definitely the partners could use more benefit out of it. So, and next to it, of course, the incentives and all other good, let's say, materials and resources available from Microsoft side, is just to really make sure that you are from time to time reviewing what's there, what's out there to support you.
Thank you. Rinalds, what is your key message for the ones maybe who are starting the journey, or the ones who are there already and would like to cooperate with the Power Platform partners that suddenly entered the Microsoft space?
For the newcomers or who start, so definitely utilize more your help in terms of taking by the hand and walking through the whole onboarding process and understanding the whole business opportunity, and be ready for a long game.
Be ready for a long game. What a game. What a nice saying. Yes, thank you, Reynolds, for being with us. And Agna, what is your key message?
Oh, so I'd say stay focused. Have one goal at a time, achieve it, and then think about the next one.
Thank you. And thank you everybody for joining. As for my side, I would like once again to encourage you, go to the downloadables handout session and download the materials that we thought these are the most valid and actual materials for today. And of course, by all means, if you need help or support, reach out to One Click Factory and QBS Group. We are here to help you grow your Dynamics business, and we are committed and keeping the promise that we gave long time ago to partners. See you in next events, in next discussions, and hopefully we'll see you someday in a live event. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.